The Dark Times, the Roman-Germanic Wars. The Roman-Germanic Wars span over several centuries of conflict, turmoil, and transformation, making it one of the most turbulent periods in ancient history. These wars marked the end of Roman imperial dominance in the West and the rise of Germanic kingdoms. The Dark Times refers to the periods of chaos, invasions, internal decay, and the slow, eventual collapse of Roman authority, particularly in the Western Roman Empire. This era not only devastated the empire but also shaped the future of Europe. Below, we explore the defining moments, brutal battles, and shifting power dynamics during this profound and dark period. 1. The Germanic migrations, a prelude to war. The migration period, c. 375 to 800 AD, was one of the primary catalysts for the conflict between Rome and the Germanic tribes, driven by a mix of climate change, overpopulation, and the pressure from the Huns. Several Germanic tribes began migrating westward toward the Roman Empire. The impact of the Huns. The arrival of the Huns, under Attila, displaced numerous Germanic tribes such as the Visigoths, Ostrogoths, and Vandals, pushing them into Roman lands. This migration forced the Germanic peoples into conflict with the empire as they sought refuge, land, and resources. Roman response. Rome attempted to contain the migrations by building defenses, offering land in exchange for military service, as foederati, and negotiating with tribal leaders. However, the vast borders of the empire were too difficult to protect, leading to increased raids and invasions. 2. The Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, 9 AD. Key figures: Publius Quinctilius Varus, Rome; Arminius, Germania. Outcome: crushing Germanic victory. The Battle of the Teutoburg Forest is one of the most famous and devastating defeats in Roman history. It marked the first major setback for Rome in its attempt to expand its territory into Germania. The ambush. Roman legions, under General Varus, were ambushed in a dense forest by an alliance of Germanic tribes led by Arminius, a former Roman auxiliary officer. Arminius used his knowledge of Roman tactics and terrain to lure the Romans into a trap. The battle was marked by brutal hand-to-hand combat, and the Romans were overwhelmed, with 3 legions destroyed. Aftermath. The loss of 3 entire legions, including their eagles, shattered Roman confidence. It led to Rome's decision to abandon its conquest of Germania and retreat to the Rhine River as the empire's northern border. 3. The crisis of the 3rd century, 235 to 284 AD. Key event: multiple invasions and internal turmoil. Outcome: fragmentation of Roman authority. The crisis of the 3rd century was a period of extreme instability that severely weakened the Roman Empire and opened the door for increased incursions from Germanic tribes. The causes. This period saw a rapid succession of emperors, internal civil wars, economic collapse, and external invasions from Germanic tribes like the Goths, Franks, and Alemanni. The Roman Empire was divided into multiple regions, and the western provinces were left vulnerable to Germanic raids. The battles. Germanic tribes launched repeated attacks on Roman territory. The Goths invaded the Balkans and even reached as far as Italy, while the Franks and Alemanni raided the Gallic and Italian provinces. Outcome. The Roman Empire survived this period due to reforms by Emperor Aurelian and Diocletian, but the seeds of decay had already been sown. The external threats and internal fractures made it clear that Rome could no longer hold onto its vast empire as it had before. 4. The sack of Rome, 410 AD. Key figures: Alaric I, Visigoths; Honorius, Rome. Outcome: Visigothic victory. The sack of Rome by the Visigoths under Alaric I was a traumatic event that symbolized the collapse of Roman power and its inability to protect its capital. The siege. After years of failed negotiations and broken promises, Alaric and his forces marched into Rome. For 3 days, the Visigoths looted the city, sparing the churches and the lives of many civilians but taking all the wealth and treasures they could carry. Significance. The sack marked the first time in over 800 years that Rome had fallen to a foreign enemy, symbolizing the Roman Empire's decline. It shattered the psychological power of Rome and made it clear that the Western Empire was vulnerable. Impact. The sack of Rome deepened the fragmentation within the empire and contributed to the further weakening of Roman authority in the West. 5. The Vandals and the destruction of North Africa, 439 AD. Key figures: Genseric, Vandals, Petronius Maximus, Rome. Outcome: Vandal victory. The Vandal conquest of North Africa significantly crippled the Western Roman Empire, depriving it of vital resources and food supplies. The fall of Carthage. The Vandals, under King Genseric, seized control of Carthage, one of Rome's wealthiest provinces. The Vandals established a naval empire in the Mediterranean, cutting off vital trade routes and raiding Roman coastal cities. The sack of Rome, 455 AD, after establishing control over North Africa, the Vandals turned their sights on Rome. In 455 AD, they sacked the city, looting its treasures and taking thousands of prisoners. Impact: the loss of North Africa, which had been a crucial source of grain, significantly weakened the Western Roman Empire, leading to food shortages and economic collapse. 6. The fall of the Western Roman Empire, 476 AD. Key figures: Odoacer, Germanic chieftain, Romulus Augustulus, last Roman emperor. Outcome: end of the Western Roman Empire. The fall of the Western Roman Empire is traditionally marked by the deposition of Romulus Augustulus by Odoacer, a Germanic chieftain, in 476 AD. The last emperor, Romulus Augustulus, a young and ineffective emperor, was deposed by Odoacer, who declared himself king of Italy. This event marked the official end of Roman imperial rule in the West. Significance: while the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantium, continued for nearly another 1,000 years, the fall of the West was symbolic of Rome's inability to maintain control over its vast empire. The division between East and West was made permanent, and the West fell into a period of fragmentation and barbarian rule. Impact: Odoacer's rise symbolized the success of Germanic tribes in supplanting Roman rule and the beginning of the medieval era, where Germanic kingdoms began to replace the Roman Empire in the West. 7. The Battle of Adrianople, 378 AD. Key figures: Emperor Valens, Rome, Fritigern, Visigoths. Outcome: Visigothic victory. The Battle of Adrianople was a catastrophic loss for the Roman Empire and one of the key moments in its decline. The battle: Emperor Valens faced the Visigoths, led by Fritigern, near Adrianople, modern-day Turkey. The Roman forces were crushed, and Emperor Valens himself was killed in the battle. Significance: this defeat revealed the weaknesses of the Roman military and exposed the growing power of the Germanic tribes within the empire. The Visigoths, after their victory, began settling in Roman territories, further destabilizing the empire. Impact: the defeat shattered Roman confidence and marked the beginning of a period of constant military and political turmoil that contributed to the fall of the Western Roman Empire. 8. The end of the Roman Empire and the rise of the Germanic kingdoms. As the Western Roman Empire crumbled, various Germanic tribes began to establish their own kingdoms on former Roman lands, including the Visigoths, Ostrogoths, Franks, and Vandals, and forged new kingdoms that blended Roman traditions with their own cultures. The dark times of these wars reshaped Europe, leading to the formation of the medieval world and the eventual rise of the Holy Roman Empire. While the Western Roman Empire collapsed, its cultural, legal, and religious legacies persisted in these new kingdoms, shaping the future of Europe for centuries. 9. The transformation of the Roman Empire's legacy. Even after the fall of Rome, the Roman Empire's influence continued to resonate throughout Europe in the form of Germanic kingdoms and the enduring presence of Christianity. Christianity's role. As Germanic kings and warriors converted to Christianity, they adopted many of Rome's religious practices and institutions. Pope Leo I and other church leaders played a crucial role in preserving Roman governance and law, embedding them into the social fabric of the new kingdoms. Roman law and governance. The Visigoths, Ostrogoths, and Franks all retained and adapted Roman legal codes, merging them with their own tribal laws. This Roman influence would lay the groundwork for the feudal system and other medieval governance structures that followed. The codification of Roman culture. The new kingdoms, particularly in areas like Gaul and Italy, absorbed and adapted Roman architecture, language, and urban planning, preserving the cultural achievements of the empire. The cities of the Byzantine Empire, such as Constantinople, became centers of learning and cultural preservation for the wider European world. 10. The beginning of the medieval era, rise of the barbarian kingdoms. With the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the political vacuum was filled by several Germanic tribes, leading to the establishment of new kingdoms across Europe. The Franks. Under Clovis I, the Franks established a powerful kingdom in Gaul, which would later evolve into France. Clovis' conversion to Christianity in 496 AD united the Frankish people and solidified their power, ensuring the continuation of Roman traditions within their kingdom. The Visigoths. After sacking Rome in 410 AD, the Visigoths settled in Hispania, modern-day Spain, establishing a kingdom that would last until the Muslim conquest in the 8th century. The Visigothic kingdom maintained Roman legal traditions and Christian customs while adapting them to Germanic culture. The Ostrogoths. The Ostrogoths, led by Theodoric the Great, established a kingdom in Italy, preserving Roman administrative practices while introducing Germanic laws. Theodoric's reign represented a mix of Roman governance with Germanic customs, marking the beginning of what we know today as the Middle Ages. The Vandals. After conquering North Africa, the Vandals ruled much of the Western Mediterranean. Their reign, though short-lived, left a significant mark on Roman Africa and facilitated the rise of later European states. 11. The Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantium, a Roman survivor. While the Western Roman Empire fell, the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantium, endured for another millennium. The Byzantine Empire preserved many of the traditions and structures of ancient Rome. Byzantine resilience. The Eastern Empire was able to stave off invasions from Germanic tribes due to its strategic location, strong military, and diplomatic prowess. The empire continued to carry the mantle of Roman civilization, with Constantinople becoming the center of Roman culture, law, and Christianity. Roman legacy in Byzantium. The Byzantine Empire not only preserved Roman law through the Codex Justinianus, the Justinian Code, but also maintained Roman administrative practices, architecture, and education systems. Cultural bridge. Byzantium became a bridge between the ancient Roman world and the medieval era, preserving the knowledge and traditions of Rome that would later influence the Renaissance and European intellectual life. 12. The fall of the Eastern Roman Empire, 1453 AD. While the Western Roman Empire fell in 476 AD, the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantium,